So first, we're gonna take... Hi everybody. Welcome to Quarter Inch Seam. I'm so glad you're here. Happy February. Now, why is it such a happy February? Because January was like a year packed into a month. So I'm just ready to start a whole new month. Although I have to be honest with you, our January wasn't that bad. Like, I actually had a pretty good January. Yeah, I did. It was pretty good. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? We are gonna make, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this because I figured it out myself. We are gonna make a mug rug, a heart mug rug, Valentine's Day mug rug. And here's why I'm doing this. My mom's birthday is in the month of February, and I thought she lives far away from me, and I had already sent her, I already did her gift, okay? And so I thought, like, this is just something I would send her as kind of a fun little Valentine's / extra birthday gift, whatever. And so I thought it would be fun. And this is the quilt, this is the pattern that I used for the wall hanging, but I thought I could probably modify it, which I have never done in my life. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure why I'm talking so loud. And I'm not sure why I thought that I could actually like come up with a pattern for something, but I thought we would try it. And I have to be honest with you, I think it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm pretty excited about it. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was gonna be. It's for a mug, right? This is not really like a teacup rug. It's for a mug. So we're gonna do that. I'm also gonna show you, some of you may have seen the short, oh my God, stuff falling all over the place as per the day, right? Because what would it be if stuff weren't falling all over the place? Some of you may have seen my short where I talked about the flannel quilt that I did that I'm dropping off on Monday at the rehab center up the road. And if you've never done like a super easy, super fast quilt like this, like if you're a beginner, I did this not long after I started sewing. And I thought it was gonna be for picnics. But then I said to Steve, we'll take it and we'll go on a picnic, right? We'll just go in the backyard and we'll have a picnic. And this was in like July. He said, silly girl, you can have a picnic in July outside in Florida? Seriously, you can't. But it's also it's basically like lap quilt size. And it's, I think it's a great size if you just wanted to, like if I were gonna go sit on the couch right now and do absolutely nothing except read my book, and it were chilly, which it's not today, I would take this. The flannel makes it really, and I just did really simple batting. It's nothing, I didn't use anything. I just used probably scrap batting that I had. So I took, and I think, let's see if we can figure this out. I think, I don't know if it's 1 yard or 2. And you'll understand why, I don't know, in just a second. So I'm not very good with kind of guesstimating the size of things. So, what is that? What exactly does that mean, Angela? I'm trying to find a tape measure. I know I have one, but I don't know where it's at. Like if somebody says, oh, that's 10 yards away, I have a hard time gauging what 10 yards look like versus, like I know the difference, like if somebody said this is 10 inches away versus 10 yards, I get that. But like 10 yards, 200 feet, just say a long ways. Just say it's far. You don't have to, really, that's plenty. Okay, so a yard, it should be 36 inches. So let's just see if this is 1 or 2 yards. 18. There's 18. Use a little girl measuring here. 18. And maybe, it's like 2.5 yards. No, like 1.5 yards. It's like 1.5 yards is what I'm kind of guesstimating. So like 1.5 yards 2 yards would probably be good. And I just use this really cute, it's this little Americana. These are little, like woody trucks, like old timey woody trucks. And that's the front or the back, whatever, it doesn't matter. And the other side is these little Americana hearts. Are those adorable? I have to find this fabric again. I'm pretty sure I got it at Joann's. But it's so, holy cow. If I tell you what, if I was in the hospital, I would want a thing like this. I really would. Anyway, then I did if you've never done it before, maybe on the next quilt that I do it on, I'll try and actually show it before I cut it. So here's what you do to do these little tiny, they're little yarn, right? That's this is for people who are really like beginners, okay? This is your tutorial. We will now commence the tutorial session of our video. So, if you ever wanted to do these little things and you didn't want to have to go through, you were intimidated by like quilting it on your sewing machine. So I took the 2 pieces of flannel, right sides together, piece of batting, sewed all the way around 3 sides and left a big gap on one side. Or leave the whole side open, I guess. You could do that too. Then I flipped it all around, right? And yeah, I sewed a little bit. I sewed through. I have the binding on. I mean, I have the batting is in there, okay? Then I flipped it around, right? Turned it inside out like you would a duvet cover. And then you take a darning needle, or you know, it's a really big needle, a really big sewing needle. Took a darning needle with whatever color yarn, and you can use cheapy yarn. Go get the 99-cent for a skein of yarn at, you know, at Walmart. Doesn't matter. It's not important. And then you start on one end, and so I wanted to go through the center of each heart because you want it to be like, you know, this is like probably about 4 inches apart, okay? So just start on one side, right? And come up and then go back up like you're sewing a button on, right? But don't cut it. You're gonna connect, then you go to the next one, 4 inches apart, go to the next heart center. Makes it easy on a pattern like this because you can see where your next point's gonna be. So then down, right? And then up to the next one, like you're sewing huge buttons, right? And so then when you're done, you're gonna have all these, all the connector lines are gonna be there. And then you just take your scissors and you cut them, right? Snip them, tie them together so they're tied off. Tie your ends off, right? And you have this cute little, just a tiny little knot. There's nothing hard, intimidating, special about this. But it makes, like on this quilt, I'm having a hard time dropping this thing off on Monday because suddenly I've fallen in love with this quilt and I haven't seen it in 2 years. Forgot I even had it. Anyway, so, and then you're done. I was getting ready to put another little video out on this thing, and I don't want to harp on this thing, but it's just so easy. And so if you're a beginner or you wanted to do something to really give you that sense of accomplishment, you know how I am. I think this is great, and I think that this is also something that if you were like if you were going to a housewarming, like if somebody was having a housewarming, you know, they just bought a new house. You all know what a housewarming is, right? Oh my gosh. I didn't have that much sugar today either. I don't know why. I'm all of a sudden amped up. I'm so excited. I'm just kidding. So, like if you were going to do like a housewarming, like a little basket, wouldn't this be adorable? You could just kind of like roll it up, especially with the right fabrics. Just roll it up. You could stick a little bow on it, right? And now they have this homemade, so comfy, right? Or baby. I was talking to somebody else. Like this would be a great little like, you know, they could crawl around on it. You know, babies, you know, like a little crawl around mat, you know? You know? If you know, you know. So, anyway, and I keep harping on the fact that it's flannel because it makes it so soft. And as you wash and wash and wash it, it just makes it more soft. And if you want to make it bigger, it's super easy. Just add more fabric. Just make it bigger, right? Because it's the same on both. It's just one big piece of fabric on both sides. No quilt squares. Easy. Okay. Now, the mug rug. Okay, so I already started it. So I'm gonna sew the rows together now while I'm talking to y'all. Y'all, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do that. Get your stuff out. Go get your quilting stuff, your sewing stuff. What are you sewing? Make a mug rug. Or a housewarming, baby crawling, donate to a, rehab or hospital center, something, blanket, whatever. Go get your stuff. Okay, so this week, first of all, it's warm in this house. Oh my gosh. Let's try and turn the air on because it's warm. You're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe this. It was yesterday almost 80. It was 80 degrees. It was seriously 80 degrees yesterday. Today it's almost as warm, but now it's getting later in the day and so it's kind of cooling off a little bit. But yeah, 80. And I'm in the house right now. Steve's outside building a golfing thing. I don't ask. And I mean, I do ask. That's not nice. He's building this big golf thing, net thing. Pardon me. Okay, so I'm gonna put this heart mug rug thing together that I'm actually gonna send to my mom. And because this is her birthday weekend. So while I'm sewing this, we'll chat. What a week. Oh my gosh. This month. And like I was telling somebody, so I left a 1/4 inch gap here, and then that's where I cut it. And then I have my half squares, okay? And then 4 of your main pieces, again, 3-inch squares, and then 2 3-inch squares here, 2 half square triangles here, and then 2 half square triangles down here, and then a solid block and a solid block there. And this now is 10.5 inches by 10 inches. Yeah, like 10 and a half by 10. I don't know, it just came out really cute. It's just, again, it's the kind of thing that I'll probably keep on my kitchen counter. Like I have a placemat on my kitchen counter where my coffee pot, I put my coffee pot on or whatever, or spoons, or I'm stirring cream in your coffee or whatever. Like this would be the perfect size for that. So maybe I'll try and do one that's a little bit smaller. I guess maybe 2.5 inch squares might work, huh? Maybe? I'll have to try it. Okay, so I will finish this up tonight and then I'll put a picture of it up. Okay, before I leave you for today, my chair. You see it? Okay, there she is. And I have to tell you, I'm in love with it. It's very comfortable. It's the perfect height, and I can sit like right up to my machine and I can see what I'm doing. And here's the other thing is I was thinking about not having a high back chair is, you're always doing that. Oh God, that feels good too. It's great for like your lumbar. You can kind of lean back a little bit, but you're always trying to see underneath stuff. So it just comes right at the right angle on your back. I am in love with it. Love, love, love it. And lastly, I'm reading, this week I am reading The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. So good. Having a hard time putting it down. So usually in the morning it's quite the morning routine, isn't it? I have a cup of hot water with lemon, a hot coffee, read the news, check my emails, and then I try and get in a little bit of my book before I get in the shower. And then I read at night until I fall asleep. And then at night I forget what I've read. So in the morning I have to reread it. Well, it is what it is. Okay, I love you guys. Go make you an oversized mug rug and give it to somebody for Valentine's Day or as something that they can put on their kitchen counter. for spoons and stuff by their coffee pot for creamers and things. I think that would be kind of cute for that. And, or, you know, this is the kind of thing that you could always do with like a housewarming blanket and throw a little counter rug. It needs a better name, doesn't it? Needs a better name. Anyway, love you guys. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Have a great rest of the weekend, a great week. See you guys soon. Bye. We had a good month. January was a good month for me. Like, I felt like I told you, I don't know if I told you guys this, but when the new year started, when the month started, I just kind of felt like we were kind of waking up. Like, it was ready to get back at it, you know? And that's how we kind of treated the month. And that's, you know, it wasn't like easy, but we didn't have any catastrophes. We didn't have anything, you know, major in our life. And to be honest, I tried to stay out of everybody else's drama. If you know, you know. So I tried to stay out of everybody else's stuff and mess and whatever, you know. Okay, I didn't do my seams right on these little squares. So here's what I did. That pattern was for the wall hanging heart that I did. That I finished last week, you guys saw. Came out so cute. Oh my gosh, I haven't hung it up yet. But I was looking at it and I was like, excuse me, why couldn't you just use that same formula and make a mug rug? And the reason that I need a mug rug, well, I want to send one to my mom, but I also need another one for my end table, for my nightstand, because I used to drink an insane amount of coffee in the morning. I used to drink, like, you know how your coffee pot makes 8 cups of coffee, whatever. I used to drink that in the morning. It was like a full pot of coffee, and black. And I have some tummy issues. Too much acid. So I was like, I gotta get this under control. And years ago, I had done this thing, which I won't go into all the details, but I had done this thing where in the morning, before I had my coffee, like the first thing that I had when I woke up, is I would have a cup of warm, not hot. Not hot. It'll burn your esophagus. Not hot. Warm. Water, plain water, with lemon. So in the morning, I basically stumble out of bed right into the kitchen for my coffee, for whatever I'm drinking in the morning. Yeah, I don't like to, I'm not a big conversationalist in the morning. I don't like to have to do a lot of stuff in the morning right when I wake up. I just want to get my coffee and my caffeine and my stuff going. So what I do is I cut up a lemon like once or twice a week into a whole bunch of little slices. You know, like nubs, like about the size of your thumb. Not a lot of lemon, not a big lemon. It's just a cup, like a teacup, you know, like a coffee mug. So I have those already cut up and ready to go, because at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, trust me, the last thing you're going to want to do is be cutting lemons. Trust me. So I have my lemons all cut up, and you guys want to see what I'm doing? I know it's hard to see. I'm trying to get a new camera set up so that you guys can see my machine better, like what's actually going on in the machine, in case you're tired of looking at my mug. Anyway, so I have my lemon already cut up in a little tiny container. About 6 months ago, we were at Hobby Lobby, right when they opened, in this area. It was a brand new store. And they had these little kettles. I wanted a kettle, like a tea kettle, for a long time. And the reason is I used to make, I do coffee in the morning and I do coffee at night, but during the middle of the day, am I rambling about this? During the middle of the day, I usually, if it's cold, like in the wintertime, those seams did not add up. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. I don't know why, but they didn't. But in the middle of the day, I do tea. And I used to just do hot water in my Keurig. But you know what? There's just too much residue from coffee in there. And so I bet you, I wonder if that will help. Let's see. All right, the seams are going to be a little bit off. I'm warning you now. Okay? Don't be alarmed. Don't get anxious. Don't be worried. The seams are going to be a little off. It's okay. So I use the kettle for tea or hot water. So in the morning, I go out and I turn my little kettle on. I have water in there from the night before. Like I said, I'm not a meal prepper in the morning. So I flip my kettle on. It takes like literally, I don't even think it takes a minute for this thing to heat up. And while that's happening, I also brew a Keurig cup of coffee. And by the time both of those things are done, I can take my 2 cups back to bed so I can have my coffee, read the news, check emails. That's what I do. That's my routine. But the lemon, if you have any type of like acid indigestion or anything like that, I'm not a doctor. If you have any type of, obviously, please. If you have any type of like acid indigestion or acid reflux, that's what Steve and I have is acid reflux. It's amazing how much more calm and you wouldn't think because you'd think lemon, okay, that's just gonna make it worse. It doesn't. My system has been like so much more calm the last few weeks since I've been doing this. And I enjoy my morning coffee like a lot more. Like I really enjoy my morning coffee when I've kind of eased into it a little bit. So try it. It works wonders for me. Okay, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Wait, I gotta iron it first. So this week, I'll tell you what, prayers for all the people, 64, I think was the last number I heard, but it could be 67 families who lost someone on the in Washington D.C. with the plane helicopter crash. Our prayers are with everybody who was involved in that. Scary stuff. And then the people in Philadelphia, another one. Just so much. I don't know, just so much in the month of January with that kind of stuff going on, and you know, just a lot. I don't know. I really feel for those families because it's never a good thing, and now you're going to have all these, you know, investigations and all that stuff that has to go on, and just crazy. Okay, my iron. Now, this is just the front, so I'm going to finish the back, and then tomorrow, or later, I'll put up a little short with the whole thing finished. Because I think it's going to be, now look, this is not, I mean, you probably could sell these, but you'd probably have to do a little bit better than I did on this one. So anyway, my whole story about the hot water and coffee was, I just don't have enough room, and you know, I don't want my mugs leaving I don't want to put them on my nightstand because they're wood. So I thought, you know what, if I just had something a little bit bigger than a coaster that I could put both on, and I wanted to use that little Snoopy heart fabric that I showed you guys. Wait till you see this. It's cute. It's really cute. You ready? Corny. Corny, but cute. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to, so there's the peanuts, the little Joe Cool, and it says love. And I probably could have left some of those pieces bigger or whatever, I don't know. And then the corners, the half square triangles, I just used this little heart flower thing. I don't know, I had this random, very random fat quarter, and so I just cut it up. Now, here's what I did, is I did I thought that if I did 2.5-inch squares, they'd be a little bit too small by the time I sewed everything together. So I did 3-inch squares. So I just cut 3-inch strips and then I cut them into 3-inch squares. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Half square triangles. And what I did on these is I just sewed down the center and then cut it like a 1/4 inch off, right? So they looked like this. So when they were sewn together, this is down the center, and then I just left a 1/4 inch. So first, we're gonna take